Thank you, Paul. Pleasure to be here. I'm really excited to introduce Linius Technologies. So today I'm going to take you through a quick overview of the company and our technologies, tell you about our progress, particularly over the past year, and where we're going to next. So jump to the next slide, please. Just quickly, disclaimers on forward-looking statements and warranties and the like. So next slide. So starting out, our Linius Media Solutions is really focused, as Paul said, on enabling video search and bringing our customers' video archives to life. Next slide, please. And we're focused on our purpose, which is to help our customers unlock the inherent value in their huge video databases. And when we talk about archives, most people immediately think we're talking 10, 20-year-old content. To us, an archive is really anything that is not truly live. An archive could be 10 seconds old or 50 years old. And today, only a minuscule portion of that non-live content is ever seen again, and let alone monetized. Linius changes that. So who has these archives? In sport, it's every broadcaster, every streaming service, league, team, or rights holder. And further, it's news agencies, movie studios, universities, libraries. There are millions of hours of video content in these video databases that sit largely unused. Linius unlocks these archives with our patented methodology for virtualizing video. This process turns big, bulky video files into lightweight chunks of data that we can then manipulate at will. Users can search for exactly what they want to see, and we surface all of the individual clips across thousands of videos that meet their needs. And we then combine them into personalized highlight videos. Only Linius can instantly create millions of infinitely variable videos at broadcast grade and internet scale. And we expose that capability through a number of business-to-business and business-consumer applications that I'll talk about in a bit. And they're all underpinned by the same Linius Video Services platform, with applications coming from ourselves, from our partners, and even developed by the customer themselves. Next slide, please. So in the sports market, rights holders invest currently $55 billion a year in sports rights. And as I said, most of that value is unlocked through the live event itself. But that only represents 1% of that archive. So there's a huge opportunity to unlock value through the rest of that archive beyond the live match. More and more customers are doing that through typical tools that are available today that will pull out the biggest highlights and post those to social media. That might get them another 5% of the content, but we unlock the remaining 94%. And our goal is to drive monetization and value out of that huge archive that today sits relatively unused. Next slide. So our solutions today are widely deployed. And with our most recent announcement in July of our first customer in the US and our strong penetration into the Australian domestic sports market, we're now positioned in the three largest global markets, the US, Europe, and Asia. We currently work across 15 sports and over 40 federations. Our customers include the likes of IMG, one of the world's largest media and entertainment companies with over 50,000 hours of content from Wimbledon, the Masters, PGA, the Olympics, Premier League, and more. We work with Inverley Media, who's an end-to-end media company that works with multiple rights holders, including the All Blacks and the Wallabies close to home. We have our solutions deployed with the Premier League teams and the Belgian Pro League champions. And closer to home, we work with Cricket Australia, the NBL, A-Leagues, and Racing.com. We have multiple user-facing applications, some of which are shown here, including Match Vision on the left side, which is our fan-facing application. We have Wizard, which is our business-to-business and content curation tool. And we have custom applications, including the NBL fan channel and Racing.com tipping and replay hub as examples. Next slide. So starting with our Wizard product, this is kind of the core of our portfolio. And this is really the world's leading video search tool. And what this product does, it allows us to connect into huge archives and quickly surface those for the customer, who can then publish those out to their website, social media, broadcast, and more. A great example, this one here is for Cricket Australia. They can go in and search for anything that they want. They can search for a particular batter or bowler. They can search for particular actions like sixes and fours, and they pull up all of those clips. And Cricket Australia has a very small production team, and they're looking to publish more content onto their website and mobile applications, because today they have a huge viewership on YouTube of their content, but they make very, very little money out of that content on YouTube. They're looking to drive higher engagement and higher monetization on their own website through advertising and sponsors. They're going to be publishing everything from short form clips for social media, longer 3 to 5 minute clips for their website, and even 30 to 90 minute documentary style programs. And their initial estimates are showing that they're saving 1 to 2 days per video that they're creating. So today, before they implemented Linius, they were publishing maybe a few videos a month. And now they're looking to provide dozens of videos every week. And this is all going to be ad supported and sponsor supported, providing a massive return for them. And for Linius, we participate in a revenue share with Cricket Australia. Next slide. So the next product is for our fan engagement solutions. And we're looking to really provide immersive experiences for our customers. You can think about these fan engagement solutions as YouTube on steroids. So you can search for everything and find exactly what you want. But instead of flipping through 20 things that you didn't want to see, or only seeing parts of what you maybe wanted to see, you will get a custom 5 or 10 minute video that contains all of the moments that you want to see. If you want to see all of Bruno Fernandes's goals from 2023, type it in, you'll be watching in seconds. You want to see all of Shane Warne's wickets against India from the 1990s, type it in and you'll get your results. And for rights holders, they remain in complete control. The reason you can't find a lot of great archive content on YouTube and TikTok is that once the rights holder publishes to those platforms, they lose control of the content and they can't effectively monetize it. Our solutions let them create the experience fans want, keep the control of that content, and maximize the value of their archive. And we can bring these to websites, mobile applications, smart TVs, and streaming services. Next slide. So our Linius Media Solutions portfolio provides an extensive portfolio of applications for our customers. It's got Wizard at the core of the solution, and that is the core search, creation, and publication content. We then have applications including automated highlights, analytics, recommendation engines. We have our mobile applications and search applications. We have a content store that lets our customers license that content and sell moments from their archive to film and broadcast. We even have applications in NFTs and blockchain. That's all based on our platform that is all documented and published APIs that allows customers to then create custom applications from that as well. Next slide. Our pricing model aligns our value with our customers, and it includes setup fees, monthly recurring SaaS fees for licensing, and variable usage-based revenue. And usage is typically covered in a revenue share model, but can also be on a per user, per play, or per minute. And this allows us to align our success with the success of our customers. Next slide. This has allowed us to achieve record financial results in FY23. We had an over 80% increase in cash receipts, over 130% increase in annual billings, and we moved from being a provider to local customers to global customers. Next slide. And in the past 9 months, we've brought on more customers than we have in the previous years. We've brought on the A-Leagues, Cricket Australia, IMG Replay, and recently entered ice hockey in the US. These recent deals that we've closed towards the second half of FY23, we haven't even begun to see the revenue coming in from that, and that creates a massive opportunity. We believe that we'll see doubling of our existing revenue from our current customer base. Next slide. And where to from here? The growth is going to be based on that credibility that we built up in FY23 with 10 customers, 3 of the biggest regions, multiple sports and federations. We have growth opportunities with our existing clients, both from that revenue that hasn't come in yet, that will come over the next 2 quarters, as well as multiple upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Again, we see a doubling of our revenue from our existing customer base. We then have new customer opportunities in the same sports. So we have cricket, who's, we started with Cricket Australia and then moving to other global federations. We also have football, rugby, and ice hockey that we can quickly replicate in the next 2 quarters. And finally, we have new sports. As we've done all these sports, our credibility allows us to enter new sports. We're currently developing opportunities in American football, volleyball, baseball, and even esports. And lastly is new geographies. As I said, we entered the US and we have global opportunities across other regions as well. And this year, the big target for us is the broadcast market. That has the biggest opportunity for us to generate significant revenues. Final slide. I've talked all things sport with our technology today, but the technology, the core platform, can be used across multiple different industries and segments. We've tested these markets in the past, but chose to focus on sports to get us to a profitability position. But once we get there, we have plans to develop education, corporate, news and media, and even security and defense applications. Thank you very much, Paul. Over to you for questions.
Yeah, thanks, James. And being a sports enthusiast, I love the sound of that. Being able to access, all your favourite sports people. That's right up my street, James. A few questions here. First off, your market penetration looks to be growing well. How is the company's push into North American market going, and what upside opportunities do you see?
Look, North America is the biggest sports market in the world. Over 37% of the world's sports market is in the US. And more importantly, everyone looks to the US for their technologies and solutions. In July, we announced our first direct customer in the US, but we also have sports that we covered through our relationship with IMG. So we have started to get our first forays into the US sports market, and we believe that's a highly repeatable market segment. Particularly, we're looking to get into the bigger leagues and federations, but also the US collegiate sports market.
And obviously, you recently announced the company's first contract in the US market with Hockey Technology Partners. How important was this to be having your first win in the US?
Look, it's huge because while we've had amazing customers outside of the US, you point to the Premier League, you point to Cricket Australia, which has one of the biggest fan bases in the world, over 1 billion fans. US customers always say, well, that's great, but who's done it here? So now we have that reference customer in the US, a reference sport that is highly US centric with ice hockey. So we anticipate that will generate a lot of opportunity for us.
Gotcha. And what cross-selling opportunities can you see going forward?
Yeah, well, that product portfolio that I put up very quickly, that is a huge focus for us. And if you think about those archives, we have 2 solutions. One that's more focused kind of business to business for internal use cases. It drives efficiencies and lets them publish more content. But then the other side is putting it directly in the hands of fans and letting them do it themselves. What we're finding is that the immediate opportunity with the internal use case solves an immediate pain point that the customers have today. But once that archive is virtualized, then the sky's the limit. So we've created multiple upsell opportunities. And over the next 2 quarters, we anticipate seeing quite a bit of activity in that from our existing customer base.
Got you. And what is the ramp-up profile for a new sports contract?
Yeah, so it really depends on how large the opportunity is, whether they're looking at current games and going forward or looking to go back kind of through a 50-year archive. But we have customers that we've gotten up in under a month, and we have other customers that take kind of 3 months to get their solutions up and running. It depends whether they're kind of off the shelf or they're building their own custom applications as well. But that's kind of a rough guide, kind of that 1 to 4 months.
I got you. And look, you've been successful with many sports. What are the 2 or 3 that offer the most potential that you really want to break into?
Look, right now we want to break further into cricket. It has huge potential in the global market, but in the US market, particularly football and basketball, we have our first basketball customer here in Australia with the NBL, which has been fantastic. But getting into the US football market is probably the next big opportunity for us.
And just one more here. You mentioned this in the last slide. Apart from the sports market, what are the other key markets where your technology could be applied?
Yeah, look, early in the company's history, we tested and did proof of concepts across a number of industries. We actually have a product that's out and available for the university segment. We did testing with security and police forces around the world using our technology. And we're absolutely ready to go into those market segments. But over the past kind of 12 to 18 months, we focused our attention on the single sports market to really get ourselves to that position of profitability. And then we'll look to invest in those additional markets in the near future.
James, it's been an absolute pleasure. Absolutely fascinating business model. And would love to get you back on later in the year. Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much, Paul. Bye.
Thank you.